Jem and his wife Sue and their 4 boys are following their lifetime's ambition of running their own Christian holiday camp. Inspired by the American camps, they're doing a similar thing, only theirs is in the wilds of Derbyshire. And to keep the stateside theme, they're in the throes of building a 2-storey French-Canadian log home to go on the site.
It will be lovely, and particularly in a 10-acre field with a lake. Perhaps everyone's dream, but I think once the camp centre's up and running, I don't suppose I'll get many hours to sit on my veranda supping coffee.
With the site ready and waiting for their cabin, I caught up with Jem and Sue to see how their nerves were holding up. So once the logs go up, the Canadians then go back to Canada and leave you to it, don't they?
Sure, yeah.
Don't go, but you're hanging onto their legs.
Yeah, that's right. And
the rest of it's straightforward?
It's meant to be straightforward joinery work.
Okay.
So we've got a couple of joiners that we're going to have on site all the time. And for me, I'll just fit in wherever, staining wood, carrying, and we'll have a group of volunteers as well.
So in terms of you taking on the majority of the building work, Jem, are you going to be handy with a hammer, so to speak, or is it going to be chief tea maker job?
Well, Jem's a bit of a perfectionist, so I don't think he'd let me have a hammer or even a paintbrush. So I make the tea and feed all the workers and just, keep the campfire burning.
After living on site in a caravan for almost 4 years, it's the morning of the kit arrival. And with a band of willing volunteers, the logs make the final leg of their transatlantic journey, just as a few last-minute nerves kick in.
Didn't sleep much last night, anticipating the containers coming this morning. I think we'll be more relieved when the first row of logs goes on and it fits the foundation that we've built.
From here on in, it's full steam ahead. Jem's taking his role of project manager very seriously and is manically multitasking.
John, can you keep running? Ben, can you get some pallets?
With the last of the containers unloaded, Jem's volunteers crack on with laying the suspended floor, which takes them the best part of 2 days. By day 4, the build begins in earnest, and Jem gets his first good look at the shipment.
Most log structures that I've seen, it's very, very thin. We've got a full 8-inch. Some other log builders, you kind of have tree trunks and you see all the bark and everything else. This is a very different look to it.
A total of 6 tongue and groove ridges run along the length of each log and are lined with foam and rubber sealants, making sure each course or layer of logs is airtight to the next.
Do you want to get over here?
Although Jem's erecting the majority of the kit, his 40 hours of technical assistance has arrived in the shape of Josh Wassenaar, who flew in last night from Canada.
That's basically the hardest part, is making sure everything is straight, everything's square, and after that we can go.
No, don't push it yet.
The next job is to get the first course of logs in place. It's crucial Jem gets this right, as just a few millimetres out could throw the whole build.
Now, you look down that hole and see how we're doing.
To me, that's it.
The logs really aren't that difficult to put together. The only tricky part is seeing how the connections are made and, making sure that they are made properly. This is what holds the logs together. We'll drop this in. We'll drive some 6-inch spikes through the center of the butt spline, and it'll spread the connectors, and it won't allow anything to move. And that's basically what keeps the logs together.
To get the first course down, it has taken 6 hours, but here on in the cabin flies up, and it takes an average of just 45 minutes to slot each layer on top of the next. By the end of day 5, all the logs are in place, and as Josh leaves the site and heads home, from here on in, Jem's on his own. It takes 2 long weeks to get all the roof trusses in place, and once they're up, you can start to appreciate the full scale of the house. It's 10 weeks later, and I'm keen to see if this epic build is going to plan. I do feel the need to put on a Stetson and shout yee-haw an awful lot. It's a proper Canadian lodge, isn't it?
It is.
And now it's up,
It is.
and you can see it. Pleased?
Very pleased.
It's certainly
Bigger
got that,
than what we imagined.
Yeah.
It's certainly got that wow factor that we're looking for.
It really has. And I'm assuming that this around here is your veranda, Sue, that you were saying you were looking forward to. That's going to be fantastic, isn't it? Let's get inside and have a look. I can see proper stairs. Yes! What a fantastic space. It's great. This room is your...
This is our living room.
Okay. With kitchen in here, or...?
The
Kitchen
kitchen's
diner over the other side.
over there. There's a wall going in down this side here.
Yeah.
And the log burner, which will be situated over there.
Cool.
Hopefully that will heat the whole house.
Because I've noticed that there aren't any insulation panels. It's just the wood, isn't it? How on earth? Because I know these are built to withstand -50 in Canada. So how on earth does that work? How does that stay warm?
The heat within the room, that's taken in by the logs, by the wood.
Yeah.
And when we were over there in Bracebridge, it was -32. And they opened the doors, let this cold air come in, and then they shut the doors. And it was interesting how, without adding any extra heat,
Yeah.
just the heat out of the logs came up and the temperature in the room rose.
And that was it.
And that's thermal mass working for you. So yeah, that's
Genius.
what we're looking to do over here.
Most people, when they embark on something like this, they pay a company to do the whole lot for them.
Yeah.
So for you to take on something like this, there is a huge pat on the back, I think, needed, because it's a big old job.
Yeah, it was massive. Just putting the logs up, my knees were killing me for 2 weeks afterwards. Some of those logs were about 600 pounds, 280 kilos.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And they were heavy, but yeah, well worth it.
It really
and,
is. Can we have a little peek upstairs?
Yeah, sure.
Upstairs will eventually take in a double height vaulted ceiling that will be visible from the hallway. 2 bedrooms for the boys, 2 bathrooms, and of course the master bedroom. And this is yours. Look at this. What a great view. So you can get to see everything that's going on from here. Triple aspect. Perfect.
Panoramic. And there's a beautiful window at this end, like an arch window.
But you can't wait to get in here though, can you? After being in the... Having the space in a bedroom.
Space around the bed would be nice.
Yeah. I think it's gorgeous, I really do. I think it's a very admirable thing that you're doing, and I am very excited to come back and look at it when all of this isn't. But I better not hold up any more of your time, because time is money, as they say. Let's go. There's no doubt this will be a striking build when it's finished, but it has come at a cost. 3 years of living in a cramped caravan, selling everything they own, and the burden of responsibility for this build lies solely on Gem's shoulders. It's back-breaking work, and it's taking a lot longer than it would have done if they'd employed an outside contractor. But when all is said and done, at the end of the day, it's going to be amazing, and they will be able to say that they've put their heart and soul into it. And I can't wait to come back and congratulate them. Coming up, after living in a caravan for almost 4 years, Gem's overwhelmed by the size of his new home.
We didn't realise just how big the place was. It's ended up being quite palatial.
And a change downstairs gives a view to the heavens. My goodness me, this is impressive. I love the ceiling. Jem and his wife Sue and their 4 boys are following their lifetime's ambition of running their own Christian holiday camp. Inspired by the American camps, they're doing a similar thing, only theirs is in the wilds of Derbyshire. And to keep the stateside theme, they're in the throes of building a 2-storey French-Canadian log home to go on the site.
It will be lovely. Once the camp centre's up and running, I don't suppose I'll get many hours to sit on my veranda supping coffee.
With the help of a willing band of volunteers, Jem plans pretty much to do everything himself, from the construction to the internal fit-out. He's hoping to keep the cost to a minimum after spending £323,000 to build and furnish their 3-bedroom family house.
We didn't realise just how big the place was. It's ended up being quite palatial.
It's 20 weeks into the build. The roof is tiled, the windows are in, and the veranda is taking shape.
Every time I come up the drive, if I've been out for the day, there's kind of progress being made. It's been a long haul, but it's beginning to really take shape now, and you can kind of see the end.
Although the end may be in sight, there's still a fair deal to do. The logs still need to be stained both inside and out.
Before we can do that, we've got to get all the muck off them before we put the final 2 coats of stain and 2 coats of sealer that will go on top of the logs up. And then it'll be weatherproof and should be looking good for the next 5 years.
Meanwhile, inside, the underfloor heating has gone down and the impressive double-height entrance hall has been completed.
We've got a cathedral ceiling. This will be a nice space. We've got the wood burner here, and the flue will be painted black.
To heat the water, Jem and Sue have had an air source heat pump installed, which extracts heat from the outside air. Installed by specialists at a cost of £10,000, it will provide all the energy they need for a constant supply of hot water.
So it's going to really be very, very warm in here. I think we'll be opening windows really rather than turning up the heating.
It's been almost a year since Jem and Sue's Canadian log home arrived in the UK, and I've come back to find out whether all their hard work and devotion has paid off. With the help of a few tradesmen and a lot of willing volunteers, Jem has built this beautiful 3-bedroomed house in just over 11 months. Impressive by most building standards, but when you think Jem has never built a house before, it's not much less than a miracle. After painstakingly sanding and treating all the wood in the house, the walls don't need any decoration and will just fade and darken with age, adding to the characteristics of the house. Is it how you imagined it? Because you can look in a brochure, can't you? But it's very different, isn't it, from looking in a brochure to living in one?
We saw something very similar when we went to Bracebridge, which is where the headquarters is. And, so it is what we expected, really.
Yeah. I just think it's absolutely stunning. When did you move in?
2 days before Christmas. So it was
I can imagine that was a bit fraught, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a mad dash. We had 14 booked for Christmas dinner, and
you like a challenge.
2-3 days before it looked like a building site.
Really? So it was sort of that close?
Very close, yeah.
Does it feel like home yet?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, it does,
know you're finally in.
Yeah, I've put my touch on it.
Excellent. Can I come inside and have a little look at it then?
Yeah.
Let's go on in. Inside, Jem and Sue have maintained the traditional North American feel with a cream shaker-style kitchen. The simple, clean design with light-panelled doors and warm wood work surfaces create a relaxed atmosphere perfect for the many hours Sue spends entertaining here. My goodness me, this is impressive. I love the ceiling. It's so striking in here, it really is. Is this how it was in the showroom? Have you changed any of the plans at all?
No, it's quite different.
Very different.
In the show home in Canada, it's got the ceiling coming straight through.
Right, OK.
But what we decided, we needed an office going out on this side, a storeroom on the other side. So we thought we'd put bedrooms above them, so we'd still keep the same amount of bedrooms.
Yeah.
But that would then give us this vaulted ceiling and real airy, welcoming place.
And Sue, did you have fun with all the interior design? Because you've got a real knack for it. It looks beautiful in here.
I love doing it. Yeah. I like to put my touch on it.
Yeah.
It's 4 years of birthday presents and Christmas presents that
they've all been stacking up in the
not being able to
caravan.
use in the caravan.
It's beautiful. Can we have a little look upstairs, shall we? Upstairs, the boys have their own den, complete with a pool table, football table and the all-important drum kit. In the 3 bedrooms, the walls have been plastered and painted neutrally, in contrast to the wood downstairs, which creates a light and airy feel, enhanced by the house's many dormer windows. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is lovely. The window, I remember the window from the last time I was here. It's so striking. So was the window part of the original show home as well, or is that a new addition?
No, they're just the standard windows for this home. Yeah.
And this is a fantastic room it's got a good vantage point to see the whole centre sort of taking shape, isn't it? So do you sort of wake up in the morning and look out and think, yeah, the dream is almost there? Because it really is sort of coming along leaps and bounds now, isn't it?
Oh, very much so, yeah. And it's not just the main centre, but we'll have a book cafe to the side of us, another staff residence, and you can see it from this vantage point as well.
So it's ongoing?
Oh, yeah.
Right, should we go back downstairs?
Yeah.
Sue has clearly loved decorating her home and created a colonial New England feel with patchwork quilts and handmade decorations, all adding to a distinctive cosy atmosphere. So it's been 4 years to get to this point, hasn't it? And I guess this house is the first part of a very big jigsaw. You must feel a huge sense of achievement.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is the first part in a very big project, and it is nice to have that base now where we can relax, as well as also plan the next stages.
Was it harder than you thought? Because I think whenever you embark on a project, you don't know what it's going to be like because you've never done it before. So did you go into it thinking, actually, this is going to be all right, this will be easy, and then it became much harder, or...?
No, I knew it was going to be difficult. I think it's just the overall vision of this camp centre, and seeing 60-odd children and young people or whoever, really.
That's what's kept you going.
That's the thing that we really live for, really, and... Yeah.
And how has it been for you, Sue? Was there ever a time during this build where you thought, my goodness, what have we done? We've bitten off more than we can chew? Or did you
I've certainly no regrets. There have been times where it's been difficult, like when all the pipes are frozen and it's with no running water and no sewerage during some very bad winters. But I can't say that there's ever been a time where I've said, I wish we'd not done this. It has been hard. But I think because we've done it as a family as well, and plus we've had lots of friends and supporters around the country that have encouraged us. So, yeah, it's been an adventure. I've said that all the way through, and it's been an enjoyable adventure.
Having lived in a caravan for almost 4 years, most people would put their feet up and enjoy the fruits of their labour, but not Jem and Sue. The camp's accommodation that will house around 60 children is halfway through construction, and that is just the start of their dream of a whole new life ahead. Jem and Sue could have brought over a team of builders from Canada to build this house, but in order to save money, Jem decided to take on the challenge himself with a little help from his friends. Now, it has been gruelling at times, but they've ended up with a beautiful house that makes the statement they always wanted it to. I think it's fair to say that Jem and Sue's admirable leap of faith has certainly paid off.